Let me get a couple seconds. And we're good. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy CD.Achille. Today we're gonna react to Obi-Wan's Kenobi episode 1 breakdown and episode 2 breakdown. But they will be just separate videos. Let me say something real quick. It's okay to have opinions, okay? If you don't like it, oh well. But don't get mad at a person's opinion. At first I gave the Kenobi 6.5 out of 10. But I was like, hold on, there was some parts, it was good. So I brought it to 7. And then I was like, hold on. And I had to rethink. So my decision is I give it a 6.9 out of 10. But I had said I gave it a 6.5. Y'all fans was on my A-double-S because I gave it 6.5. It's my opinion. That's why I gave it. I know there's still more episode to come, but like there was some parts I want to happen, like and it didn't happen. So I gave it a 6.9 out of 10. So let's get straight into this breakdown.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 1 Breakdown. We have a lot to cover, and I'll be covering the second episode in another video, and then I'll be compiling both of these first and second episode breakdowns in another video for you as well, so you will have all the breakdowns to choose from. Now,
by the way, it is spoilers. If you didn't watch Kenobi, I suggest watching Kenobi and then come back to this video. Alright? Warning, it will be spoilers of the I said movies. I'm so dumb. Spoilers of the episode, okay? You've been warned.
Very end of this breakdown, I'll give you my full thoughts on the whole episode, but for now, let's just jump right into the episode and try to dissect and understand everything. Let's get started on episode 1. The beginning of the episode started with a recap of the prequels, which I really enjoyed. It ended with Yoda's line to Obi-Wan at the end of Revenge of the Sith, where he tells...
I loved it how they had the first 3 episodes, episode 1, 2, and 3, in Kenobi to show like to basically show like who is Kenobi, what he did, or whatever. And I like that how they show. Okay, I'm gonna wait to that part. But I was like, damn, look at all the memories. Episode 1, 2, 3, and then it happened in episode 3. Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
Kenobi that he has training for him on Tatooine to teach him to commune with his old master Qui-Gon Jinn. So I think for sure that we're going to see or hear Qui-Gon Jinn's Force ghost once again at some point in Kenobi. Now my thoughts are that Obi-Wan will have to be extremely tested and defeated either by Vader or someone else sometime in the show, maybe later on, episode 4 or 5, and then he finally hears Qui-Gon's voice and gets that bit of a Rocky montage and starts to really be able to feel his Force abilities again. So of course once we finally start the episode, we begin on Coruscant, which was such a beautiful sight to see finally. This was at the Jedi Temple, where the younglings are being trained by a Jedi Master, as 2 501st clones rush in.
Okay, so you're a Jedi, right? You don't sense a disturbance in the Force? You don't sense that there's something happening inside? Like, you're a Jedi. I understand you was training, but like, you don't, like, I'm trying to think like when like there was a Jedi that was talking or whatever. Like that one episode when in the Clone Wars when it was, I believe, Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, Yoda, they was talking, I guess, and Yoda felt a disturbance in the Force. It was the episode when that bounty hunter disguised as a Jedi. No, it was Mace Windu, Yoda, and I think it was just only them two. I don't know, I don't remember. But Yoda felt a disturbance that there's somebody in the Jedi Temple. Like, you don't hear. First of all, you don't hear blasting. You don't hear nothing going on. Like, if you don't feel the disturbance of the Force, how the hell you don't hear blasting in the Jedi Temple? Come on now.
Execute Order 66. As she, the Jedi, does her best to protect the younglings, she gets defeated, and we see one of the younglings centered on. I believe this could be a young Reva. She was a Jedi, as the Grand Inquisitor states, later turned to the dark side. We hear Palpatine continuously say, execute Order.
Sorry I keep pausing, but I'm trying not to pause that much. I like how they show the other part of the Order 66. And I like how they had Palpatine keep saying over and over again in the first episode.
66, as we see the little younglings running away while the camera rises above and we see the temple is under heavy attack, seeing more of Order 66 in the Jedi Temple like we saw in Revenge of the Sith. I really hope that we get to see more flashbacks of Order 66 in the temple, and primarily, of course, Anakin Skywalker. Transitioning to Tatooine, we see the Inquisitors land down and interrogate a cantina for the location of a Jedi hiding there. Reva uses tactics to snuff him out, and I gotta say Reva has some pretty aggressive tactics, ones that the Inquisitors don't use, and I think the reason for this is because the Senate is still a thing in the galaxy. At this point, it's not like Palpatine can just go around blowing up planets like he does in Episode 4. There's still a bit of time until that happens, so I don't think they have as much overall totalitarianism as we think they do in the original trilogy. I think we're heading that way, but there's still a little bit of ground to be made. The Jedi gets away, and the Grand Inquisitor tells Reva, calling her a third sister, that he's had enough of her reckless behavior and her fixation on Kenobi, that he's not hers to find. So here I'm thinking that, well, of course not, he's Vader's to find. I think she hates Kenobi so much for failing Anakin, but I could be wrong, as she has a bit of a speech that she gives.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know who this Reva girl is until I remember in the first episode, the little flashback. But I was like, is he like another apprentice to you, or like a Jedi you looked up and you found out what really happened? Like, why do you hate Kenobi so much? But then again, you know, probably Vader told her personally or told them that he wants Kenobi
to the town in front of Kenobi, of course, who's kind of hiding away, and we'll get to that in a moment. And I think that's really the no, you probably guess what I'm about to say, bro. Let's wait till you pop up. Feelings that she has towards the Jedi, and she's sort of speaking to herself in that time. We finally meet up with Kenobi cutting sashimi in the middle of the desert. He's making a living for himself as a regular man. Finally getting back to his EOP, which could be the same one from Revenge of the Sith, he feeds it and heads back home, heading to his cave, making himself at home and comfortable when he's visited by a Jawa named Tika, who hands Kenobi a toy ship. Now, this to me looks like a Lambda T4A Imperial shuttle, and it's of course for Luke. When Tika shows him a belt of the Jedi that we just saw, telling Obi-Wan that a Jedi ran through the Dune Sea Inquisitors after him and everything, Obi-Wan says the Jedi are all extinct. Now, of course, Obi-Wan knows that there are maybe a few surviving Jedi, but he's really playing the part that he isn't a Jedi, that he's just Ben, and he's not this Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Master, partially responsible for, well, the state of the galaxy, at the fall of his apprentice Anakin Skywalker, which he doesn't know is still alive. So now at least Obi-Wan knows that a Jedi is here, and the Inquisitors are aware. This makes his job...
I'm just gonna say it. So when Star Wars Theory said about he didn't know about Obi-Wan didn't know about Anakin still alive, it would be cool if if Obi-Wan, when he was trying to talk to Qui-Gon Jinn, he accidentally felt Anakin's presence, but he was like, no, this can't be Anakin, he can't be alive. But then towards the end of episode 2, when Reva said Anakin's still alive, Obi-Wan probably was like, oh, that was right then. He did felt, Darth Vader presence.
More difficult to protect.
It would be cool they had that in the show,
so he has to be on a bit of a higher alert now and keep watch of the boy more than usual, which to me also confuses me as to why he leaves, but we'll get to that in a minute. As he goes to sleep, he has PTSD of Anakin and what happened to him. This is
that right there. Like if he would have felt or that part too, this part here, if he would have felt like some type of really hateful presence like an Anakin or Anakin, Darth Vader, whatever type of presence, he would be like, it can't be him. It can't be Anakin.
Years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, which means his PTSD was probably even worse in the years prior. He tries to reach out to Qui-Gon, and this isn't the first time. The beginning of the episode started with a recap of the prequels, and of course, as I mentioned, ending with Yoda's line to him at the end of Revenge of the Sith, where he tells Obi-Wan that he has training for him to teach him how to commune with Qui-Gon. So, to me, I think Obi-Wan hasn't spoken to Qui-Gon yet in any of these 10 years. I think he's trying, but he isn't connecting himself to the Force. He can't. If he does, the Empire will detect him and sniff him out like a dog to food. So I don't want to say he's cut off from the Force, but he's just not using it. Also, if he does use it, or use his lightsaber, I mean, people will see, and they may notify the Empire, and then it's game over. So Obi-Wan watches over Luke, and we just sort of get a rundown of his daily activities. Cut some sashimi at his job, watch over Luke, feed his Eope. Everything is very routine, it's very dry, it's very boring. Now, we notice that Luke runs away from Owen, and here he's just much like Anakin, he's playful and rebellious. I thought that was a nice little touch. Through the desert, Obi-Wan is found by Navy, the Jedi the Inquisitors were after. He has a short interaction with Obi-Wan, who pretends he's not the famous Jedi Master.
This part right here, I was like a little bit skeptical, because like it was giving Master Obi-Wan Kenobi vibe, like how the Jedi Master was like arrogant kind of when it comes to like helping somebody, but like Obi-Wan wants to help this Jedi, because like he was after him, and
finally breaks and tells
that's how I was feeling when I see this part.
To bury his lightsaber in the sand.
Because Kenobi can't do anything, so
and he's hurting, and he's no longer the same hopeful man that he used to be. And the Jedi even says so. He's like, what happened to you? I believe the point is to show a very broken Obi-Wan turning into the hopeful Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan that we see later in Episode 4. Because obviously this Obi-Wan is completely different than the one we see later on, who says, hello there. On Alderaan we meet with Leia. This is the best casting of a young Leia that I've ever seen, and I think she nailed the role. I think she played it very well, and
the mom is such a L. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. First of all, how does the cousin know she's not a real Organa? But the mom, she was getting me mad in the show, dog.
She portrays a rebellious, know-it-all personality while being very cute and adorable at the same time. She plays tricks on her mother, and she runs off into the forest to explore. She's interested in ships, and she's always just got this larger-than-life attitude and personality. Kenobi's mundane life repeats itself, and we're really getting an idea for just what his life has been like for the last 10 years. He's depressed, it seems like the wind has been taken from his sails, and he's really just a defeated, different man at this point. He heads back to his Eope, where Uncle Owen throws the toy that he left for Luke onto the ground, and tells Obi-Wan to leave them alone.
Okay, I understand you want to protect Luke, but oh my god, I wanted the Inquisitor to stab him in the heart so badly.
Owen doesn't like Obi-Wan for many reasons. Now, a few of them are, well, one, he blames Kenobi for the fall of Anakin and turn into Darth Vader, and the overall state of the galaxy. He also doesn't like how Obi-Wan is always watching over Luke. He thinks it'll eventually tip someone off, and it'll get them hurt because of Obi-Wan snooping around and keeping watch. And third, because he feels that Obi-Wan is really just using Luke in order to push him into whatever he wants him to do, which is to be a Jedi and, well, fight the Sith. Obi-Wan asks if Luke is okay, and Owen says, you don't care if he's okay, you care if he's showing. He means showing signs of the Force. Meaning Owen thinks Kenobi only uses Luke to push him to be a Jedi like Anakin, and that of course didn't turn out very well. The Inquisitors enter the scene, and Reva speaks about how the Jedi abandoned them and betrayed them. She's really angering the fifth brother at this time, and you can see his hierarchy in this scenario because he obviously is commanding her and telling her what to do. It seems like she's really speaking to herself in this scene, how the Jedi abandoned them and betrayed them. She's talking to the people, but really, it's like she's talking to herself. So the Jedi obviously abandoned her, and they betrayed her. How she thinks this, I don't know, and what her problem with Obi-Wan is, I don't really know, but it tells me that maybe Kenobi did something to her that made her feel abandoned. She obviously has pain, and she's blinded by her loss of someone. She picks on Owen. She interrogates him and asks him if he's hiding a Jedi on his farm. He declines, of course, and she asks why she should believe him. So this confused me, since her powers and abilities are to read people's minds. So if she just did that to Owen, she'd look around and see Kenobi right there. She'd know he's around. She'd know Owen is involved with Kenobi and has Luke at his hut. So anyways, the third sister pulls her lightsaber on Owen and gets pulled off by the fifth brother, who calls her too impulsive. She's very combative and angry, and he is even confused by her overall irrational and hasty behavior. It's clear that the Grand Inquisitor and the fifth brother do not like her at all. Why they're keeping her around? Probably for her abilities of seeing into people's minds. Leia is at a family gathering where we see C-3PO, so we know that Bail took the protocol droid with him. If you remember in episode 3 at the very end, he tells Wedge Antilles that the droids are in his care to now clean them. So I know a lot of people thought that maybe he's giving them to Wedge, but I think he was just saying they're in your care to clean them and wipe the protocol droid's mind. So C-3PO's mind has been wiped, however R2-D2's has not. Now as to where R2 is, well, no one knows at this point, but he's probably with them too. Leia's...
No, I remember the first episode of Rebels, we seen R2 and C-3PO. They were with some woman. I think she was a part of the Senate. She probably find them. They need to explain that. I don't know who that was. I was like, whoa. Who is this? You know.
Picked on by her cousin, and we see her use her powers in the Force, at least in my opinion.
The cousin. I just want to slap. I can't say that. I just want to. Oh my god, this cousin was pissing me off.
By reading into the fears and the mind of her cousin, she puts him in his place, and it's a very Leia thing to see. Her parents scold her a bit, and she runs to the forest where she's chased by the nappers.
And then, this is a long episode. Oh my god, I keep pausing. Last time I'm pausing. Hopefully. This is the fact that the parents was on the cousin's side when he was being a twat to Leia. Like, how?
Hired by Reva to get her. The chase really wasn't my favorite. I thought it was a bit too comical and Disney-fied for me, and it took me really out of the show. But it's over soon, and we're able to continue with the story. Kenobi gets a distress beacon from Bail Organa and answers it. He wants Kenobi to save her, where he declines and says that he has to watch the boy, and he's just not the man that he used to be. So of course this is very unlike Obi-Wan, the old original Obi-Wan, well, the young original Obi-Wan. Kenobi would never turn something like this down. Even if he had to watch Luke, he would do what he had to do in order to save Leia, which eventually, of course, he comes to his senses. But I have something to say about that too, and we'll get to that in a sec. So, Obi-Wan goes out into the desert, digs up his and Anakin's lightsaber, which we can now see has been modified. Now, I wish it wasn't. I would have liked to have seen Obi-Wan tinker with it in this show, and to see why he did this, as we don't really know the real reason. He leaves Tatooine, and as he boards the ship, his beautiful Jedi lightsaber is seen hanging from his belt. Okay, so this I have mixed feelings about. He can't leave Tatooine. He is ordered to watch Luke by Master Yoda. This breaks canon. Then again, of course, a show about Obi-Wan cutting sashimi the whole time would be really lame. Reva threatened Owen, Beru, and Luke. It seemed like Obi-Wan would be even more inclined to stay and protect Luke, but also Leia needs him, and she's also Anakin's child. Luke will probably be okay, but Leia for sure won't be okay, as she's already captured. So obviously he makes the decision and leaves. The first episode did a great job in portraying how broken and depressed Obi-Wan is. I enjoyed how he was portrayed and feel like it's very in sync with canon and previous canon, which is now Legends. Obi-Wan is a very broken man. He blames himself for the state of the galaxy, for Anakin's turn to the dark side, and his death, or so he thinks. I would have liked to have seen a little more into Obi-Wan's life, like in the comics, where he kept in shape by fist-fighting Tusken Raiders and things like that. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyways, the Jawa part was accurate as he does befriend them in a way. I find Reva to be utterly annoying, and I believe she's written in such a way. The Inquisitors are annoyed with her, and so should the audience. Obviously something will come of this. The writing is plain and simple.
I mean, I was like, why she want to kill Kenobi so bad? Like, I just don't understand. Like obviously Kenobi doesn't know you, but like I just don't understand why she keep wanting Kenobi. But then again, she probably what I said about what Anakin want. Anakin probably told her he wants Kenobi, so
that she's supposed to be very hasty, and I guess we're gonna find out why soon enough. I find the plot holes of her lack of mind probing to be odd. She kind of just chooses when she's going to do it, and conveniently doesn't do it when it's a very important character that'll give her a lot of information on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just like with Owen. I also wonder how they're going to deal with Leia in episode 4, as Leia sent that distress signal in the hologram form to Obi-Wan Kenobi in R2-D2, saying that years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. I just feel like now she would be telling Obi-Wan, hey, you helped me 10 years ago from those nappers and from the Inquisitors, so I need your help again. But perhaps she got her mind wiped, who knows, it's only episode 2 that we've seen, and this of course is just a breakdown for the first episode. So we haven't even seen that yet, technically. Overall, it was a nice start to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I think it has a lot of ground. However, some of the writing was confusing, some things were a little bit too convenient with Reva's powers, but I guess we're going to find out more later on, and of course, the story has to go somewhere, it can't just be all that simple. So on to episode 2's breakdown in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts, your concerns.
Well, damn, 20-minute video. Jesus. Well, yeah, I'm about to, record episode 2, so CD, I guess, kind of, part 2-ish, yeah.